Sigmund Freud once said most people do not really want freedom because freedom involves responsibility and people are frightened of responsibility. While Sigmund was correct, so was Churchill when he said that the price of greatness is responsibility. I've been taking online courses since I was in 9th grade, so a little over 5 years now. Online courses entail an added responsibility of time management. We will talk about 3 points. We will talk about the problems that come along with the extra freedom and responsibility of online courses. We will talk about the benefits that the extra responsibility of time management can have, and finally we will talk about the students can do to help promote a student's success in an online course. So let's begin with the problems that come along with the extra freedom and responsibility of online courses. Most online courses are set up so that the teacher doesn't have to do anything but grade the student's work. In other words, from the start of the semester, the student is provided with a list of assignments, due dates, and the reading material required to complete them. All this extra freedom puts a lot of extra responsibility on the students of the course and can cause some issues. Since there is no teacher hounding students for their work, it is very easy for them to procrastinate and fall behind. Before they know it, things start to snowball and they are failing the class. Online courses are mostly managed by the website that the student is taking the course from. Because the deadlines are more final, in that the website cuts off access to the content as soon as the due date is over, this means there is usually no form of makeup work. The deadlines are final, meaning every assignment the student misses gets a 0 and they start to pile up fast. Depending on the assignment subject matter or difficulty, students will need to spend varying times on assignments. If the student runs into something that is difficult for them, they may be required to spend a large amount of time working on one assignment. If they have other classes and do not manage their time properly, this can set them behind. There's also the chance that reading provided isn't enough information for the students to complete his assignment. Because the course is online, communication with a teacher can be difficult. If the student is working during odd hours and runs into especially difficult problems, the student will need to be able to find the information on his own. Now that we have talked about the problems that come along with the extra freedom and responsibility of online courses, let's talk about the benefits. Since students don't have to attend class, they don't have to work on assignments in class. Their schedule is completely up to them. Students are able to go as slow or as fast as they want learning the content for their course, so long as they have the work in on time. In a standard classroom environment, there is usually a teacher and about 20 students. The teacher will usually work at the speed of the slower students. Teachers will prepare an hour-long lesson, and whether the students understand the material or not, the student is required to sit there and listen. For a student who can grasp subjects in a lot less time than others and then complete the assignments accordingly, the student can save the time that had been wasted sitting in a class. This does not necessarily mean that online courses are easier. A good article by Jordan Friedman called How Online Classes Work says many online learners say they spend 15 to 20 hours a week on coursework. Because the work is online, it becomes portable, allowing students to work in any environment they prefer. Most teachers have rules about what students can and can't do in the classroom, like rules like no listening to music, no eating, or what the students can wear. With online classes, the student is able to listen to music, eat food, or even go without pants all while working. So now that we have talked about the problems that come along with the extra freedom and responsibility of online courses and the benefits, let's talk about what the students can do to help promote their success in an online course. There are a few basic steps that a student can take to promote success. The first is for students to use basic time management strategies to keep from falling behind. To keep from running out of time on an assignment or procrastinating too much, students should make a schedule or calendar planning all of their assignments. The students should list all assignments and guess to the best of their ability the time that might be required to complete each. Then they should make a plan to set the times for completing the assignments. It is imperative that the students leave wiggle room in their schedule. An article called What I Wish Someone Told Me Before Taking Online Classes by Christina Erickson explains, many students underestimate the amount of time they'll spend studying for classes. You should expect online courses to take about the same amount of time as traditional courses. Now that the student has a schedule planned, a good way to keep from forgetting to work on an assignment is to simply set an alarm. Most everyone in today's time has a cell phone on them at all times. The second step is for students to determine what sort of workload is right for them. As soon as the course begins, it is imperative that the student takes into account the teacher's teaching style, the subject of the class, or even the speed of the class, and determine if the course is right for them. Sometimes a course might take up more time than the student has with the rest of his classes. In cases like this, it is best to drop the course as soon as possible. Similarly, sometimes student gets courses that are more easy. In cases like these, it is good for the student to spend the extra time working ahead. Online courses entail an added responsibility of time management. We have talked about 3 points. We have talked about the problems that come along with the extra freedom and responsibility of online courses. We have talked about the benefits that the extra responsibility of time management can have. And finally, we have talked about what the student can do to help promote his success in an online course. Just remember that it is up to the student to put in the effort to succeed in an online course.